Hi everyone, welcome to Sports Kabri. With me at the moment is Rishi, and we're going to have Adi joining in as well. But we're all set for the 2025 ISL final between Bengaluru FC and Mohun Bagan Supergiant. I'm sure BFC fans haven't forgotten. We remember the 2023 final, BFC Bagan then as well, and BFC were leading, bro. We were leading that game, and if memory serves me right, it was Mohun Bagan who scored towards the end of the game, and then it went into extra time penalties, and we lost on penalties. Um, it stung really badly, especially after that incredible run we had in that season as well, where it wasn't going well, and then I don't know how things turned. We beat Kerala Blasters in the playoffs with that infamous Chetri free kick, and then over two legs we beat Mumbai City FC, and how like in a penalty shootout that went to the ninth, 10th kick taker, and we thought at a point Gurpreet might have to take the penalty. Watching from the stands, it was a
Yeah.
crazy semi-final, and I'm sure a lot of good memories from that
If I'm
season.
not wrong,
Yeah, yeah,
who was it? Mehtab who missed the penalty, no?
yeah, which was crazy because he scored the goal. He scored in regular
Correct. He
time.
scored the goal and he celebrated in front of us.
Yeah, and it was quite fitting from a BFC fan's perspective because he did score and he celebrated. It was a little. I think he came towards the West Block
West Block
uh,
side.
and celebrated, and no, obviously we didn't take it well. And then it was him who missed. It was he who missed the penalty eventually. So it was a crazy story. And then Sandesh Jingan, who no longer plays for BSC, also scored. He scored the winner, and then the whole thing against Mohun Bagan in the final. It was an odd one, but this year, bro, do you expect anything different? I feel like a lot of things are different this season for me, like compared to that season. But for you, just going into it, how do you feel? Are you feeling confident?
I mean, bro, I think that run that we had, that Simon Grayson run was just like, nobody expected it. Everything was looking doom and gloom. And the kind of football we were playing was also very rudimentary, very old school. And it was a typical 5-3-2. We were humping it long, and it was proper old school English knockdown football. So when we had the backs against our I mean had our backs against the wall, we pulled on an unbelievable run, and that got us through so far. And if we had pulled it off, it would have been brilliant. But that, it was always, it was at some point it had to end. And of course it ended in the most, unfortunate manner. But yeah, like the way the football that we were playing, I wasn't entirely too convinced, or I was sure that okay, this can't keep going on. This run, it was just a matter of time before the magic would end. And on the contrary, we are playing a lot more, I'd say a lot better football, a lot more organized, a lot more, possession based football. So, and it's more than anything, it's a little bit more pleasing to the eye as well. Like it's not just completely hit the teams on the counter. Like back then, it was we'd be like tensed at all points. They're taking shots, the opponents are taking shots left, right, center. We're just entirely dependent on Shiva Shakti's pace of the defenders' backs as well. So going into this ISL final, I feel we are as a team at a much better place. But then again, I'm concerned about Mohan Bagan also. They are just going from strength to strength. Like
They are.
the squad depth they have is scary, bro. Like they didn't need to use guys like Greg Stewart and Sahal Abdul Samad off the bench. That's how good they were. Like that's how comfortable they were in a game. Mind you, they were trailing coming into the second leg. They were trailing, and from that perspective, it is kind of scary. But again, I always back my team, and I know that even if again win or loss is different, but I feel we will put on a better display of football than we did 2 years ago. That much
Hmm.
I feel confident about.
Yeah, it was very different. And the reason I'm also a little more confident is going into in this final. I think Jared Zargos has like made sure that he has a structure and he's following that structure. It looks like BFC are a much better ball playing side. Suresh has improved as a footballer. The one guy, bro, who improves every year as a footballer is Suresh. Like one year, one year he was just a proper destroyer. Like he had nothing other than the physical side of things. The next year he comes
Correct.
back and becomes a little more ball playing. Like now he can play, he can receive the ball, he can play passes. And this year he's added goals. He's added another element to his game, and it's crazy the way this guy has improved. And I mean, and always retaining the speciality of Suresh, which has always been, bro. Like no matter what, no one's gonna bully him. Like it doesn't matter who you are,
Hmm.
you can't bully him. And yeah, it's crazy the fact that he's doing what he is. But dude, the thing is, this year it looks like BFC are going to try to play a lot more with the ball, and it looks like if we get into the game, we will have a little more of the ball, and it'll come down to what Naguera does on the ball. It'll come down to how good Ryan Williams is on that right hand side for BFC, how much he can take on the opposition uh, left back in Subhashish Bose, which I think he's going to have some fun against Subhashish Bose when it is one on one there. And it depends on how much he can do there. But apart from this, the one concern I have is Suresh's injury. He came off last game,
Hmm.
the hamstring injury, but he has trained. So there is some positivity there that Suresh has trained, and Shiva Shakti, who has been playing for Vineet Venkatesh because he was injured. Vineet was also spotted training, both of them with strapping. So there's a little worry there. Rishi, if Suresh doesn't play, it looked to me when Suresh came off last game, he's done. Like he's definitely not playing the final if we make it.
Hmm.
Um, but without him, how much of a loss would it be if BFC don't say don't actually have Suresh Fit?
Bro, I think it's a huge difference. Like at the start of the season as well, if you remember, we weren't playing both Pedro Capo and Nogueira. We were playing only one of those two, and it was Suresh playing. Suresh was playing everywhere. He had to play as an eight, he had to play as a six, and there were times where he'd receive the ball from the defenders. He'd take the ball. He'd have nowhere to pass to. He'd play a wall pass to the other midfielder, then take the ball all the way up to the box, and then he's making a lung busting run again back. And
Yeah,
from compared to where we were a season, I mean, at the start of the season and even towards the middle of the season, we've come a long way. Like, I feel right now we have a lot more balance. Like, our midfield three is solid. And Suresh, the workload, the physical workload on him is come down a lot. And you can see that's kind of why he has added that goal scoring ability also. Now, every time the ball is at the edge of the box, the ball is, about to be cut back, you can see him make that box crashing run. And
yeah,
that's kind of like, I think the first or the second goal against Mumbai City, which was the opener, no, that Suresh scored. I don't
yeah.
remember the order. I was there, Rahul.
Yeah.
Unlike you, I was there at the stadium, bro.
It
So
was a left-footed finish.
yes,
Um,
and yeah. So he had crashed the box, and that has come just because of the midfield support he has. And now he is, I think, the only midfielder of ours who has that flair, that power, and that physicality. So you lose him, we're pretty much losing the entire physicality. So from that aspect, it's very concerning that if he doesn't play, and but it is, I mean, if he has trained today, of course, hopefully they will assess him tomorrow, and he will have minutes in the tank. Maybe if he doesn't start, he will have minutes in the tank for sure. And dude, I felt again, I didn't entirely know what the reason was that Ryan Williams was rested for the second leg because the difference was just
no,
insane.
I think they were confident with the 2-0 lead. That's all. Like I don't think there's any other reason.
Like that kind of backfired as well. So
Yeah.
again, like we don't really need Pereira Diaz and Edgar Mendes at this point. Just play Ryan Williams. Do not even overthink.
No,
Just
no,
play Ryan
bro,
Williams, and
100%. Ryan Williams will play. Like there, I don't think there's
yeah,
even a like ounce of doubt with regard to Williams playing. It will be, I think, Williams and Edgar Mendes. It's just
Edgar
that
Mendes.
with
Yeah,
Venkatesh injured, who is going to play on the left? Is it going to be Chetri? Is it going to be Shiva? Is it going to be um, Vineet if he makes it back? I think that's the big question. But if you guys had the option, who would it be out of the three?
but I think they are going to be a lot more comfortable on the ball. So we need someone with that explosive pace. Edgar Mendes can give that physicality to an extent. So we need every bit of pace we can get, not just from Ryan Williams. If we just depend on Ryan Williams for pace, it's just easy to double up on him. So I think we need that little bit of support from the left also. So if we can add
So,
Shiva Shakti to it, I'd just go with it.
But what if Vineet was fit?
Again, I don't know. I think I'd still back Shiva Shakti to an extent.
It's interesting because I don't know, like, so there's no space for Chetri to start this final after what he did even in the last game, like coming on and
I
scoring that.
think, bro. I mean, that was the epitome of how to use him, right? Like that, your legs are tired. You need a little bit of physicality. You need guys with character, presence of mind. I think that's when you can bring out the best in Chetri also. Instead of just like making him play the entire 90 minutes, conserve his energy and utilize it when the opponents are tired. I
True,
mean,
true.
assuming that the game is not over by then.
I think would you play Chetri? Like, would you start Chetri for this?
Me personally, regardless of it being a final or a practice game or even a friendly, I wouldn't really start Chetri.
Hmm.
I Again, for me, I believe this team is past them. I think we have to just play our main players, which we didn't do last week. I mean, the first leg, I mean, second leg, sorry, like whatever we played recently. Just play our main players. Like, I don't understand why you're trying to rest. Play Pereira Diaz when he's not been in form, never had a great season.
Exactly.
Uh, it doesn't make sense because you can say, they were confident, but what are you resting him from? You're not resting him for anything. Like, you're playing a semi-final and then you play a final which you have 1 week later. So there is no real need for a rest. There's no real need for even considering him to give him 45 minutes of a second half. Like, there is no point. Like, if you're not winning that second leg of the semifinals, you're out of the final, so there is no real reason to rest him. And as Rishi said, I think Chetri's best position would be as a substitute, because just for the fact that we don't have quality, that's it. It's not because Chetri adds a lot. He adds a lot to a very weak front line. He adds a lot to a front line without, maybe Ryan Williams is really not an attacking unit, has another attacking threat. It's not even a bit attacking. Like, there is no attacking intent from the entire front three if Ryan Williams is not there. You saw the last leg also. Like, so the point is, would you have to play Chetri? Because you're not getting defensive work rate from him if you're playing him. So it's a bit of a toss up. To be fair, it's a final and the manager needs to go with his gut feeling, needs to go with what can happen in the game, like predict what he feels like can happen in the game. Is he going to take the risk of, okay, I won't get much out of Chetri with his legs. I don't think I'll get much pressing. I don't think I'll get much intensive tracking back if there's a defensive shape needed for the team to defend in. But you can get that one chance goal. So do you really need him for 90 minutes out there, or is it better if he's like in the last
Hmm.
30 minutes? I think the second latter is a perfect role for him. But again, like, I think there are deeper problems for BFC to look at than just Chetri. So yeah.
Mm. I probably, I don't know. For me, if Vineet is not fit, I think it is a no-brainer to play Chetri over Shiva. Um, as much as I like Shiva, I think he lacks the confidence that um you need to have, especially going into a game like a final, and even in the semis, like whatever I've seen Shiva across just in this season, not even the semis, he looks like a player who's lacking confidence, and he kind of doesn't really trust his own abilities, and in a way does get bullied, like against whoever the left back is. So he's played a lot on the right side. So yeah, I'm guessing that's where he would end up playing. And Suresh is flexible, so you can put him on either side, won't matter. But yeah, it's one of those weird ones. But I think if Vineet is not ready for this, I think it's just a perfect chance to play Chetri, and I think Chetri would do a would add that presence of that big match. He's not scared of it. He's not afraid of the moment. Obviously, he's been there, done it like so many times. And I think if there was a game for Chetri to start, would be a game like this where it's a one-off game, not too much on it. He's got the goals, bro. That's the thing this season. Like 17 goals across competitions, and that's I can't ask for more from somebody who doesn't even start regularly. So to be fair to him, I wouldn't. I would like to see him start. Again, just given the presence, and I think it will be an open game. Mohun Bagan will not sit deep and all of that. They'll come at us, so we will get our chances. And I think if we get our chances, you need Edgar Mendez. I like him, but I don't think he's the most clinical. And if Edgar will play. So if you're not too confident about Edgar, I would like to see Chetri. I would like to see somebody like Chetri who you can sort of bank in, especially in the air, dude. Like in the air, like I think Sunil Chetri even now is one of the best. Like even you count the foreigners also, he's still one of the best. So I have that reason I think he should play. But otherwise, there's still a lot of interesting things that are happening. Last game, Namgyal Bhutia got skinned. Absolutely skinned on the right hand side. And Nikhil Pujari is your other option. He's out. He's definitely not playing. So there is a clear issue in the sense that like we just don't know what is going to happen. Can't remember the Goa winger's name. My God, it's not coming to me. But anyways, um, it didn't happen. Right, I think right back big problem for BFC, especially we know Mohun Bagan probably listen will probably play out there, and he's going to give him a tough time. Adi, you confident like with their wingers and their attacking threat, Jason Cummings, obviously, and Liston, who has been pretty good this season.
See, like for me with Mohun Bagan, I think again it's very 50-50. I think it's more about how BFC set up because I do think you can stop them if you're defensively strong and defensively just disciplined, especially in terms of shape, in terms of just committing, in terms of being true to all the challenges you commit in the box, just positioning in the box, which BFC lacked last game against Goa. Like cohesively, they didn't defend as a unit. And I said, like, I for me, this back four, it's an all Indian back four, and I just don't trust them enough. Uh, be the centre backs, both the centre backs or the wing backs, I just don't trust them enough individually and as a unit. Even last game, I think Goa could have easily scored 4 5 goals. Let's be honest. Like
Yeah,
Gurpreet
could have.
was
It was
clutch.
not a
Like
great game. Yeah.
yeah, Gurpreet came clutch. Like in the semis, second leg. If not for bad referee decisions and just bad overall bad refereeing, I think Goa could have scored easy. They should have scored a goal, which they clearly scored, and they could have scored two, three more goals if not for the keeper. So I think defensively, in a pressure situation which is away from home, because you're not going to play in Kantirva the finals. So it's basically you're going to play an away game, and you're literally playing for against Mohun Bagan in their home stadium. So it's going to be a very tough game. The pressure is going to be on, and if you're not able to defend just as a unit, and again even the midfield, I think our midfield gives a huge gap between the defense and the midfield. Every time we take the ball high, or even we try to keep possession and we lose the ball, in the in the opponent's half, there's just a huge drop back in midfield. I mean, there's a huge space in the midfield and defense zone. Uh, they don't track back really the midfielders, and then when it comes to the defenders, they're just not good enough in my opinion. And yeah, I don't see how you can, for me at least, sit and be like, yeah, they can win it, just for the fact that if you're playing the same defense, I doubt them. Like, I really have big doubts on the defense.
Mm. Yeah, I it just came to me. Dejan Drazic is the guy who absolutely skinned Namgyal Bhutia. But I think he'll have a better time against either Liston or Ashik Kurunian, like based on whoever like is playing on that uh Mohun Bagan left hand side. And the other side, I'm still fine. I think Roshan is okay. One-on-one situations should not be too troubled. Yeah, again, like only question has always been Rahul Beke and Sana. Like, are they the best central defenders? They're probably not. But we know that, and BFC have always played. We basically played with that through the season, and we're still hoping for like those moments. We're hoping that yeah, like Suresh can come up, Ryan Williams can produce a moment, and in a way, like I still feel like BFC are doing a decent job at playing with the ball this season. So I'm not too worried. but it's going to be a fun final. I think it's going to be a lot. Last time I feel like we got away with it with the team that we had and the way we were playing, but this time I feel like we're definitely going to give it a shot. And I if 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 you remove the Salt Lake advantage, if like that wasn't a factor, I would have been a little more confident and said, yeah, I think BFC can win it, especially like with the way beating Mumbai, absolutely smashing them, not even beating them, absolutely smashing them. The Chetri last minute goal and all of that, it just feels like, yeah, it could be coming. And it's an interesting one, bro. Rishi, what do you think, da? BFC favorites? I mean, like not favorites, but do you think it can be done? I want
I
the
think we have
Asian
a
football,
better.
bro. We have to win.
Yeah, I think, yeah, bro. It's been a while. We haven't had Asian football in Kantira. We hadn't gone there as well. So yeah, I'd give us a fighting chance. Of course, the fact that I mean, it is kind of sad that okay, the league leaders, whoever is higher on the table, they get the home ground advantage. But it is what it is. And if we were playing in Kantirava, I'd give us an extra, say 20-25% because that makes a lot of difference. And but then all being said, I think we are a much better unit than we were under Simon Grayson 2 years back when we played. And even then we gave them a run for their money. Like we took it to penalties and we were actually leading the game. So I think definitely we're going to give a better performance than that. But yeah, like that being said, Mohun Bagan have also gone from strength to strength as a team. So their squad depth and the way they play, like Cummings and McLaren, like really frighten me. And the fact that they have players from the bench who can come in and put in a good shift. So when we are tired, our midfield can get run at, and that's when guys like Samad and Greg Stewart are going to come clutch. So, and they have guys like Petratosh coming off the bench. Like, so they have relentless amount
Yeah.
of attacking quality. So it is going to be like a peppering for our defense. So it's all about who keeps the composure. But I think we'll give a good fight. Yeah, and yeah. I don't think there's a clear cut, or I think Mohan Bagan will be a slight favorite, but I'd give us a fighting chance, a good fighting chance.
The one thing that stands out to me versus Mohun Bagan is genuinely the fact that I feel like our they have more quality. Like going forward, like you mentioned Petratos, you mentioned like obviously all these guys Samad and there's Liston already who starts. You have Jason Cummings, all these guys. But quality wise, obviously, I think a little bit better. But one thing I think BFC we have a little more than them is the willingness to run, and I've seen that from
Mm.
every player, like every player. And for me, that stands out. Except for Pedro Capo, I think the entire team has like some amount of legs. Edgar Mendes chases it down. Ryan Williams does the same thing. I've seen Suresh. I don't think we have to discuss him. And same thing for Noguera. Noguera maybe not as much as the others, but I feel like across that front line we have a little more like energy and there's a little more want and fire in them to sort of in Mohun Bagan. And I feel like if you can get Mohun Bagan 30 minutes, 40 minutes without scoring, they get frustrated. They'll frustrate, and then like you'll see like you'll probably not see like the energy from the front three. They'll just be walking around and things. I think that's exactly where like we'll have like a good couple of chances to bounce. But like we'll see, we'll see. Um, but Adi, you're saying no BFC this time. You're saying probably Mohun Bagan go in as favorites. I mean, and
Yeah, I mean, for
fair enough.
me, realistically, I don't see it. Just overall, the team quality wise, like for me, again, I always believe like you have to have a good defense to win these games, and I don't see that. And we have a keeper who played well his last game, but to be fair, we consider a silly goal by him, right? The first free kick, I think he could have saved it if he was just a bit smart in that area. And again, overall, for me, even in the attack, I just think we're a bit too blunt. Compared to a pretty solid Mohun Bagan team, them at home is just a different unit, and it is going to be a home game for them. Like the entire stadium will be there only for them. You won't really have that
No,
BFC
I
fan
don't
presence.
know. One thing I'm not sure is if like how like you in every home game like you get like only like one stand for the away team. I don't think that will be the case. I think it will be a proper equal
Yeah,
Like a
but you
50.
won't have 40,000 BFC fans there. That's the thing.
No,
I
obviously.
doubt we have 40,000 traveling BFC fans.
No,
Yeah.
obviously we don't have 40,000
You don't get that
40,000.
in our home stadium itself. So
At home we would have got, bro. At home we would have got. For
yes,
final and
that's
all we would
true.
have got. Bro, our
Yeah.
semis were full, and I think even the playoff game was full. So yeah,
Full.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was. Was it not packed, Rishi?
Yeah, the playoff game and the Bombay game was packed, and even bro, the Bombay game was actually a weekend game and it was packed. But the biggest surprise was the Goa City game that was midweek and that was packed as
Yeah,
well.
that
That
was
was
that I
sold
know
out. The
for a
West Block
fact
at
was
least was
packed.
sold out.
Like my brother was at the ground for that, and he said it was full. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, fair
I've
enough.
never
And
seen a
bro, I
full
mean, keep in
BFC
mind
stadium, I think.
there was an RCB game also going on at the
Oh
same
yeah,
time.
there was also an RCB game going on. So yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, I think quality wise is just not there. I think
Mm.
even coaching wise, team wise, I think they just have a better team. Better coach in terms of he knows what he wants to do with the team. Team has been dominant in ISL for the past 2 years. Uh, Again, finals is always 50-50. I think we do have X factors. I won't lie and say, it's all Mohun Bagan. I think, especially going to Salt Lake last time, I think to an extent BFC did dominate that game also. And with a similar team, it was not a big difference from that time to now. It was a similar team. It will come down to small factors. I don't think it's going to be a big thrashing of a game like one team will be too dominant for the other. But I just think overall that defense scares me. I'm not fully confident with them. The way I saw them play in Goa, an away game, I don't think BFC played like they even played football that game, right? So coming off of that, uh, I don't know where they'll get a performance from. If they can, great. But for me, realistically looking at it, like from what I've seen this season, especially away games, they've never showed up in the away games. And this is again technically an away game, and I just don't know what they can do. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking back to the Mohun Bagan game that we played at Salt Lake. It was not a great game. Like in general, it was not a great game. They got the winner, like whatever, 1-0. But I think it was a 1-0. Um,
yeah, it was
it
a one.
wasn't. Yeah, it was a 1. I think it was a Liston goal. So and it wasn't a great game just in general. So I don't know what to expect. But I think for me, realistically, the one thing that a lot depends on is whether Suresh is fit. Suresh is fit, and you have Suresh 100%. We have a good chance. But if Suresh is not fit, then I'm scared because Fanai, as much like I like him and like he's a little bit of quality in midfield, he doesn't have the legs. And I think in a final, you need proper legs, bro. And I just don't think Fanai has the legs for it. So it'll be an interesting one. It'll be fun. But yeah, that's that, guys. Mohun Bagan Super Giant versus Bengaluru FC. The final is tomorrow. It's a Saturday. And if you can get out and watch the game, it would be great. I don't know if tickets are there and all of that. But if you can get to Kolkata
I
and the
think it's
Salt
sold
Lake,
out.
it is. I don't know. Okay,
I
if it
think
is,
it is
it is.
sold out.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like then yeah, if it is, probably you're going to get a lot of home fans. But let's see, let's see. It's going to be a fun one because I think the
Yeah, it is sold out.
2023
You can't buy the
final,
tickets anymore.
2023 final was in Goa, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 2023 was in Goa.
yeah, neutral venue, closer to Bangalore and all of that. But this one's going to be interesting. It's a little far, but let's see what happens, guys. Please like and share the videos. Subscribe to Sports Kabaddi. Like I said, I think just fingers crossed you have Suresh back for this, and hopefully you have Vineet as well. Um, and yeah, we are alive and kicking waves. Quickly, if you had to choose vapes, like quickly, BFC or Mohun Bagan, uh, we're just ending the discussion. Who do you go for? Let's see if
Bro, I'm
we get
going.
back.
I'm backing my BFC.
Says remember we used to make fun of you when BFC's downfall, and look at how things have turned around. Even that when it happened, I think yeah, BFC man, he's saying BFC. So hopefully it happens and. Yeah, bro. It'll be fun because it's been a while actually. It's been a while. So it'll be good fun. Yeah. Everyone get to watching. You can watch the game obviously tomorrow. It kicks off at 7:30 p.m. IST, I'm guessing. Yeah. So that should be that. And yeah. See you then. Bye bye.